Hey guys, what's up? This is Cody, and for this update, I'm going to show you the data log that I've received from Tom over at Super 6 Motorsports. And I'll just go ahead and state that I am not an expert on reading data logs or performing them. I will just go through some of the basics that I know of in this data log. And as you can probably see is the calibration from my mouse and on this data log is a little off, so we're just kind of having to work around that. So right here in this darker gold line, we have the RPM of the car. This is in a wide open throttle pull from about idle to 4,500 RPMs. So we'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And this thicker orange line will represent the load. I believe that's the thicker orange line is the load of the engine. So what we will look at is the manifold pressure, which is the boost. And now this is recorded in kilopascals, which is not usual for reading boost levels. So this kind of translates to a max over here at about 8 to 9 pounds of boost. And as you can see, as the RPMs start to increase, there's a pretty steep boost spike here. And then other than that, it's pretty linear up until its peak. And this is not the data log that went to 5,500 RPMs, but in that data log, it did decrease to about 4 to 5 pounds of boost. So there is some decrease after this peak boost here around 4,500 RPMs. So we haven't done any testing past 5,500 RPMs at this point. So not sure if it will decrease and boost all the way, or if it will stay around 4 or 5, or if it will even go back up. So it's just something we're gonna have to, only time will tell with that. Okay, so here I'm going to read through some of the emails that I've been going back and forth with Tom from Super 6 Motorsports. We've been emailing through this whole process. I'm located in Northwest Arkansas, and he's in Central Georgia, so we're really far away, and we try to stay in touch as much as we can about the car. So just starting off, this is within the past week or so. He on that last data log to 4,500 RPM, it reached 8 to 9 pounds of boost, like I've already said. And they've just been driving the car around doing all the data logging on the road, on the street. And they've done all the pulls in third gear. And he says right here that during regular driving, the car it responds very well. The boost is a little touchy with the throttle. The car is really eager to get into boost, and that's really what they're trying to work on, is get it to that the boost is it's intuitive. Like when you want the boost, it'll be there. When you don't want it, it won't come on. He says it's about anywhere from 2 to 5 psi under partial throttle, just driving around and cruising. And when you put more load on the engine, obviously the boost will increase when you're trying to pass somebody going up a hill. So like I said, we're just trying to nail in and getting the boost where it's there when you need it, and it's not there when you don't. So it's one of those things. This has been a real slow process, but it's something you want to get done right. It's not something you want to get done necessarily quick, even though I'm ready to get the car back. The next thing we say here, we're talking about we're using a mechanical boost controller. You can get an electronic one to get more specific tuning on the boost curve for the data log. We're not going to do that. We're trying to keep it cheap, and that's kind of the point of this whole project. We want to be cheap as possible, trying to keep it cheaper than a Pro Charger kit, because Pro Charger kits are great, but they are a little steep in price. Being the first twin turbo kit, that it is a little pricey too, but it's kind of research and development. at this point. We're hoping we can get this out there and it'll be cheaper from here on out. So just talking about with Mike from MPT, they're looking at the same data log that I showed you, and talking about the knock retard. He says the knock they're not having any issues with it. There are great improvements on all the fuel trims. So they're talking about dynoing the red line wide open throttle pull, because you can get more precise tuning on a dyno. And like I said, Tom has been driving the car on the street in third gear and doing a red line pull in third gear. It's not safe, and it's not a smart decision, because if you get caught, you can go to jail, lots of consequences. Better just play it safe and go on the dyno. Tom also says that these EcoBoost twin turbos are good for 20 pounds of boost. It's not to say the engine is good for 20 pounds of boost. He says that multiple F-150 EcoBoost trucks are running 20 pounds of boost that he knows of, and he says it's dangerous, so I feel like it's only a matter of time before they have engine failure or any major problems. So we're not even going to try and do that. He does say, though, the turbos are good for that, so if you wanted to do the Super 6 Motorsports, upgraded pistons, rods, and rings, you can go for it. We're not going to do that as of now. It's not really the point of the project that I'm wanting to do. So all of the tuning has been done on 93 octane, and I'm going to have a tune for 93 octane as well as E85 ethanol. E85 will be my choice of fuel, because being located up here in northwest Arkansas, it's more readily available than 93. I'm not sure why 93 isn't available. It's only available at one gas station, and it's like a monopoly. They charge outrageous prices for it. So ethanol's cheaper, it's more available, and on a boosted setup, it'll make more power. So for me, it's a win-win. So I'm hoping to push around 10 pounds of boost on E85, making around 400 to 450 wheel horsepower. And this being my daily driver, I want it to be powerful, want it to be safe, and I really want it to be consistent. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to know I can drive it to my classes every day, I can drive it to the grocery store, I can drive it I want it to be reliable and consistent. So those are main points for me, what I want out of the car. And it goes back to the tuning process. MPT knows what they're doing. Yes, this has taken longer than I thought it was. There's been some delays here and there that have kind of contributed to it. But all in all, this is something I want done right. I don't want it done quickly and just blown through. So I know Tom and Mike are both, I'll even go on a limb and say experts. They know exactly what they're doing, and I trust them completely. And I think at this point, we're caught up on the emails from the past week. I guess just stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully the next video will actually be a video of me with the car. It won't be another update video. It'll be an actual video of me driving the car running, or something along those lines. So just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at TSS Development. I'll leave a link I'll leave our name in the description. So be sure to do that. Thanks, guys.